We can talk about mentality. You can't be talking about mentality. Yeah. I saw a Spurs fan tweet earlier saying there's like 7 European elites and Arsenal are the imposters. I thought, how can you put PSG in anywhere near the word European elite? We'll all laugh at that. So I put them around 5th. At the same time, that doesn't mean those teams that are below them can't beat them. What I find interesting with Arsenal is that so many people are writing them off. They don't have the pedigree. They don't have the ability to get through the next round. But yet, if they go out, it will be painted. Forget the shameless banter. I'm talking real football talk. It will be painted as abstract failure. Now, if you want the banter to work, you've got to do what Paddy's done and say they're the 2nd or 3rd best team and praise them a bit. And then when it goes wrong, your criticism hits right. You can't say a team's crap. I'll give you an example. It's like Will Smith doing a joke about a man being a cuck. It won't hit, will it? Because man's a cuck. You can't say Arsenal are crap and then go, you went out, you bottled it. It doesn't work. It don't hit. It's not good banter.
Yeah, Terry, I get that, yeah. But just to go back to the point that I was saying to Dio, yeah, about your star boy, yeah. The reason why I'm picking him out is because I keep getting told he's world class. People think I've got an agenda, and they fail to listen. Like
you do have an agenda.
Yeah, I like Saka. I think he can become world class, but he is not world class. The other day, another abysmal performance in the first leg, 1 dribble attempt. Yeah, the whole game, right? The other day, got locked up by, what was it named? Wendell, whatever it was. Wendell. Yeah. Saliba, I believe this guy's generational. But I'm sorry, I've seen numerous shaky games of him this season, bro. Yeah, Gabriel's been better than him. And the other day, he was shaky again. Do you know what I'm saying? But you're looking at it, you're struggling to understand constructive criticism, and you're getting defensive straight away, but you're not listening to what I'm saying, right? Some of these guys that you're putting on a crazy pedestal, right, haven't showed any evidence as of yet that they're going to have this mentality to beat the Bayern Munichs or to beat the Real Madrids, okay? Because like I said the other day, that performance, cool. You lot went through.
Dom, we have the best attack and the best defense in the league.
I'm talking about the Champions League. Why are you talking to me about the league, bro? Why are you talking to me about the league? We're talking about the Champions League.
Guys, one at a time. You said you didn't mention the league, Dom, but you said he's had numerous other poor games this year. What poor games are you referring to? The Champions League or the league?
Oh, in the Champions League when they went to
which one?
Lons away. Was it Lons away?
The whole team performed poor against Lons. What are you saying? What are you saying, Dom?
Yeah, he's one of them though.
It's a team sport. You know what?
Hold on. If you're putting certain man in certain categories, in certain conversations, don't try run away when people have high expectations for them.
Nobody's running away from anything.
I'm running away because you're trying to say, oh, yeah, but everyone else was bad. Well, no, rise. He's world class.
Dom, because people are calling him world class. Dom, because people are calling Saka world class. Because people are calling Saka world class. I personally, now watch I get ruined in the chat. I personally don't call him world class because I believe you have to win major honours. Not saying like James Milner's world class because he's won stuff with Liverpool, but I feel like you have to be an integral part of a team.
Yes, bang on, perfect.
To be world class. So watch I get ruined in the chat for saying that. But because some people call Saka world class and because he has one bad game, listen, you can call out other games in the season. I understand that because he had one bad game and he missed out, and he was bad against Porto. I don't believe you can fully rival into him because everyone calls him world class, and that means because he has one game bad game.
But we're talking about the Champions League here, where we've spoken about the intangibles. And part of the intangibles. Hold on.
One at a time, guys. Let Dom finish, and then we'll move on.
Part of the intangibles, yeah. Odegaard had it in abundance the other day, yeah. He literally created that goal from magic, bro. That was a magical moment, yeah. That is what the Champions League is all about. And so in certain games, you need moments like that, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, like I've said, Saka hasn't shown me that, bro, so far. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you, I want to clarify, Don. In the Champions League, he hasn't shown you that yet.
In the Champions League, bro. Yeah. And even in the league, even if you want to talk about other evidence, in the league when it's been crunch time, we know what time it is in Saka.
Well, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. In the last few weeks, where they have clawed back a 5-point lead, beaten Liverpool, gone top of the league, created that goal difference in the run-in so far, Saka's delivered in a number of those games. Now, I want to ask you a question about Saka. You're criticizing him for his first 2 performances in knockout football.
Yep.
How many good level performances does he need in knockout football before you will drop this agenda? So how many times does he need to have a 7.5, an 8 out of 10 game plus contribute for goals and assists for you to turn around and go, I'm leaving Saka alone? What's the benchmark for you numbers-wise? So how many times? You rip it apart for 2 games. Is it 1 game, 5 games? How many does he need to deliver it until Don goes, I'm not mentioning Saka anymore.
Oh, I need to see it consistently. My point here.
Put a number on it. How much is consistent for you?
Bro, consistent is a good number of games. Good number of games. I don't see it consistent.
What's that good number of games? What is that number of games for you to say, do you know what? He's proven it to me now.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to set a standard.
Yeah, that's a standard.
Hang on, one at a time.
But the thing is,
wait. I'll respond to George. Don has set a standard by saying in his first 2 knockout games, he's shown me nothing. So he's made 2 games a standard.
Don has an agenda.
So my question is, if after 2 games you can be heavily criticizing him, and it's your right to do so, how many games of delivering until you stop criticizing him? Give us a number, Don.
Bro, if he performs in the next round,
he can't give a number. He can't give a number because he has an agenda, man.
Let him finish, guys. Let him finish. Let
me land my point. Yeah, if in the next game he does what Odegaard does, right? I'll say, listen, he performed really well. I'll big him up the way Odegaard did the other day. If Saka performs like that, that's not going to now mean that he's world class. But I'm going to big him up for that, right? For me to say this guy is world class, I have to see it consistently for a longer period than this season alone, Terry. Just this season ain't going to be anything.
I understand that. So if you have to see it for a longer period of time, that basically means that no amount of good performances for 2 or 3 seasons is going to convince you he's world class. Then why would you then ride out and criticize him when you haven't allowed that time to lapse for you to make your mind up properly?
No. What do you mean I haven't allowed that time to lapse? I've already allowed that time to lapse. He's not world class.
Hang on a minute. If you're going to allow that, but you've got to wait to see if he's world class so he can meet your consistency barrier, right? You just said that.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got to wait 3 seasons in the Champions League to work out if he's world class, why are you criticizing him before he's had the time to deliver for you?
Bro, my point is these Arsenal fans put him on the pedestal and they call him world class, right? Is my point. I don't know. Hold on.
Your opinion. Your opinion.
My point is, I am not surprised with the performance he put out the other day because he has many of them, bro, in the league as well.
You call Mudryk world class. You, Chelsea fan, call Mudryk
world class. No way. No, that's not true.
Now it's a lie. Terry, let me just say something. Let me just say something, Terry.
Don't finish his point and then we're going to move on.
I am not surprised. I didn't call Mudryk world class. He's lying now. Yeah, I am not surprised. I am not. Bring up where I've called Mudryk world class, Dio. Yeah, and DM me as well after that. Yeah, bro. Terry, I am not surprised with the performance that Saka put out the other day because you already know my take on Saka. I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, these don't think I've got an agenda. All it is I think he's a good player, but for me, over 90 minutes, it doesn't influence the game enough. Yeah, and away from goals and assists, there's not enough that I see from him. Right, like I've said, I've grown up on different types of wingers, right? But my point is, majority of the fan base believe that he's world class. Yeah, there's a minority that don't think he is, in my opinion. Yeah, from what I've seen online or whatever, people say don't generalize the fan base. All I'm saying is, if you're putting him on this pedestal where he's your star boy and he's your talisman, you're saying he's hitting all these numbers in Europe. I expect him to be doing the same in Europe, but I am not seeing it. But I'm not surprised by it because I know what he is as a footballer.
Okay, Don, are you done?
They struggle to accept. Guys,
I'm gonna go to stop. I'm gonna go to George, and then we're gonna move on from this subject, just because of interest of time and everything. Go on, George.
I was literally just gonna say very briefly. The only reason why Saka's been very singled out for these 2 performances because these are probably the 2 biggest games of his career so far. You might want to count the FA Cup final many years ago, but these 2 games have been the biggest games of his career under Arteta. So that's why he's been scrutinized so much.
Yeah. And listen,
he even came out and said it. He was a poor performance himself.
He said it himself.
So I don't get why Dai was defending him.
No. That's not what I was defending. You refused to hear what I was saying. I simply said, even if Arsenal fans want to put their own players on the pedestal and call them world class, that's what fans do. We're asking your opinion, Dom. What does Saka have to do to prove to you? Listen to the question that he is world class. Not because of what Arsenal fans have said. Of course, I'm going to big up my boy.
Listen,
Dom, let me finish. I will big up my boy. Everybody here will big up their players in the team. Fair enough, right? We all do that. I mean, you're going to big up Mo Salah. Everybody will big up their boys. If you ask me what does Mo Salah have to do to become world class, I will tell you what I think he has to do. How many games I think I need to see him playing, at what level he should be playing at. You haven't answered that question. What does Saka have to do to prove to Dom that Saka is world class? Simple.
I need forget to see, Arsenal fans. I need to hold on. This is what I need to see. I need to see Saka getting involved in the game more over 90 minutes. I need to see Saka take on his fullback more over 90 minutes. Yeah, I need to see Saka have a good performance away from the GNA because yes, he puts up GNA. No one can take that away from him. Yeah, but end of the day, I don't see enough of the guy over 90 minutes. Is the point that I'm making.
In terms of tangibles on that, because it has to be something tangible, because you can just always say, I didn't think he influenced it enough. What would that look to? What does that look like in terms of numbers, dribble attempts, dribble succession? How many passes into the final third? How many? Are there numbers that go behind that? Otherwise, it's just wishy-washy. Does that make sense?
Put it this way. Okay, put it this way. For example, when he played against Sheffield, that was good. That was a good performance. When you lot played against Wolves, he had a good performance that day as well. There's been a couple games this season when you lot come back.
So all you've got to do, viewers, that's fair, and that's fair from Don. All you've got to do, viewers, is go and look at his numbers across multiple measurements. So pass completion, how often he lost the ball, how often he won the ball, dribble succession, through balls, crosses accuracy. Look what those numbers were on games that Don thinks was good, and then every time Don says he was bad, you compare the numbers, and then that way you work out whether Don. No. But that's how you work out. No, Don, let me finish my sentence. That is how you work out whether anyone's eye test is accurate or it's wrong or shrouded by bias. So, for instance, if you say today was brilliant and you say why, the way he was twining up that fullback and he attempted 6 dribbles, completed 3 of them, and had 39% cross succession and got an assist. If the following game you say was awful, but he completed more dribbles, crossed the ball better, set up more chances and goals, you're going to have to break down as to what. Like, do you get where I'm coming from? So there has to be a tangible number, especially for an attacker, behind what a good performance looks like. Otherwise, you can just keep moving the goalpost forever and a day.
Yes, can I say something to that then? Yeah. The other day when Arsenal were playing, I checked it on what's that called? The data one. What's that called? SofaScore, yeah. Saka had a rating of 7.9, which is higher than Odegaard, and he was stinking at the place. So end of the day, take all these stats and out of a pinch of salt. Stats come in secondary, bro. No one's gonna come to me and start showing me numbers and graphs as if my eyes are lying to me. You're not gonna gas.
No, that's not true. But that's not true, is it? If I turn around and
it's true. He had the highest rating. Hold on, Terry, let me finish. He had the highest rating.
You don't forget SofaScore and their ratings. It's awful. But you can look at someone's statistics. If you say Saka had a bad game and he did nothing, but you can prove with eye test, I can prove to you with eye test and statistics that he completed the most amount of dribbles. He created the most amount of big chances in the game. He won possession back more than anybody else. He barely lost the ball. If my facts of how he performed outweigh, if you say he didn't do anything and I can prove he did, how can a bit of factual information not undo your eye test? That's where bias comes in, bro. You can't turn around and say that you, but then that's just, then you're never going to get to the end of this conversation. And it's a great debate.
Because it comes into an error.
It's a great debate, but I never want to see you defend a Chelsea player with stats again, bro. Ever.
No. We're not doing that because I use stats as secondary, bro. You're telling me, I should list all these games and then people should go check the numbers instead of watching the game. We're not doing that.
But based on your criticisms, if you turn around and go, his crossing was poor today, but his crossing accuracy was at 50%, which is higher than his average, your eye test fouled.
Yeah, but that's specific though. That's me being specific. If I'm being specific about
something, why are we counting out goals and assists then? Why are we counting out goals and assists?
I didn't count them out.
You said put them aside. I don't know why we're going into so.
I'm going to stop this conversation now because I want to move on to the super chats. But what I'm going to say on it is this: people are saying I'm just doing this because it's Arsenal. No, go back and watch my videos from a few years back about Rashford when everybody said he had bad decision making. What did I tell everybody to do? List what his bad decisions are and how often he does them in games, and then we'll start watching matches and we'll note down how often these contemporaries make those mistakes. Lo and behold, no one ever came to me with a list.